Hi, welcome to 7 Facts, the channel where you're guaranteed to find a video about every single country on Earth. In today's video, we're going to explore Virginia, but keep in mind that there's an entire playlist of all the US states and territories, so be sure to check that out too. Please remember to subscribe if you wish to see the 2 brand new videos I upload every Wednesday and Saturday. When we think of America, we tend to think of it as a former British territory, a bastion of the English language. But where did it begin? Where was the first British colony founded? I'm guessing you figured it out. It was in Virginia. Jamestown was the first permanent British colony in North America, and in a way it was where the British Empire began. It was settled in 1607 by John Smith and about 100 men sent by the Virginia Company of London. By 1610, almost 90% of the settlers died of disease and starvation, but thanks to tobacco, the company kept funding the settlement. Thus, Virginia was well on its way to becoming a British colony. Unfortunately, this colony was also the origin of the modern concept of slavery in the United States, having been formalized in 1640 and was fully entrenched by 1660. The Virginia we see today is a lot smaller than what it used to be. At the time of the Revolutionary War, Kentucky and West Virginia were parts of the state. While Kentucky became a state of its own in 1792, West Virginia decided to secede from the rest of the state after Virginia broke away from the Union and joined the Confederacy. Virginia also originally ceded some land to form Washington D.C. However, the plot of land, today Arlington County, was given back in the 1840s. Because of these facts, this state is today referred to as the Mother of States. Needless to say, Virginia was a major player in the American Civil War. It was home to the Confederate capital, Richmond, and its borders were right next to Washington, D.C., so it was obviously a major target for Union forces. Over the course of the war, there were over 120 battles in Virginia, not counting skirmishes or other military engagements, which would add up to over 2,000. Among these battles were the first major engagement at Bull Run and the last battle at Appomattox Courthouse. Robert E. Lee, the commanding general of the Army of Northern Virginia, surrendered his entire army to Ulysses Grant on April 9, 1865 at the same courthouse. Colonial Williamsburg is a living history museum presenting part of the historic district in the city of Williamsburg, Virginia. It is a 122-hectare historic area that includes buildings from the 18th century, during part of which the city was the capital of colonial Virginia, as well as 17th century, 19th century, and colonial revival structures, as well as more recent reconstructions. The historic area is an interpretation of a colonial American city with exhibits of dozens of restored or recreated buildings related to its colonial and American Revolutionary War history. Basically, if you wish to experience life in colonial America, Colonial Williamsburg is the place to be. The Pentagon is the largest building in the world, and it's the headquarters of the United States Department of Defense, in case you didn't know that. But why am I talking about the Pentagon? Because it's actually in Virginia, not Washington, D.C. It's located in Arlington County, across the Potomac River from Washington, D.C. The building was created to house the entire Department of Defense during World War II. One of the reasons why it's so spread out horizontally instead of vertically was because they tried to use as little steel as possible. To build it, an airport and an entire neighborhood had to be demolished. The Pentagon covers 600,000 square meters, has 5 floors, 2 basement levels, and a large central plaza known as Ground Zero, since it was and still is assumed that it would be a prime target in case of a nuclear war. 26,000 people work in the Pentagon every day. Aircraft carriers, destroyers, cruisers, and submarines. Are you a fan of these things? Then pack your bags, cause you need to go to Norfolk, Virginia. This city is home to the Norfolk Naval Station, the absolute largest station in the world. US naval forces that operate in the Atlantic, Mediterranean Sea, and Indian Ocean all operate from here. 75 ships can rest alongside the 14 piers, with 134 aircrafts also being based here. On average, one plane takes to the skies every 6 minutes. This is the largest concentration of US Navy forces, along with one of NATO's Strategic Command headquarters. This place is as intimidating as it can be, and you're pretty much guaranteed to be impressed. In the United States, there are 41 independent cities, meaning that they are equal in status to counties. Out of those, 38 are in Virginia. So what's going on? Well, in Virginia, any locality incorporated as a city is an independent entity. Cities govern themselves independent from the county they're in, although they can also serve as the county seat. The idea was that, if independent, the cities would create centralized trading and a centralized legal system, instead of a fractured and slow system with merchant ships traveling from plantation to plantation. This complicated form of governance endured to this day, and Virginia's constitution still recognizes cities as independent. And there you have it. These were 7 facts about Virginia. If you enjoyed the video, please leave a like and subscribe. Share your thoughts downstairs in the comment section, and afterwards check me out on Facebook and Twitter. A good way to offer more support to this channel is through Patreon, link in the description. I hope to see you next time. Bye.